Internet, Eric here. Slashback Saturday for you guys. It's been, I don't know how long it's been, maybe a week or so since I've done one of these. If you don't know what that is, the concept was created by my buddy Joe over on the Horror Man YouTube channel. And what it is every Saturday, um, he has a specific theme for a slasher movie. And what he does, if you want to participate, you try to find out, well, first you find out what the theme is, and then you try to find out a movie, a slasher movie specifically, that fits into said theme. And this week's was low rated slashers. And the requirement was to speak of a slasher film that was rated 5.0 or less on IMDb.com. And I didn't know what to pick because there's so many low rated slashers. So literally, I went and I Googled and I typed in, uh, I typed in exactly that, under 5.0 on IMDb for slasher movies. There's so many things I'd never heard of. But then I found one that I really wanted to see because in a previous Slashback Saturday, it was cheesy, sleazy slashers. Jesus, I still can't say that. And I watched and discussed Slumber Party Massacre. And I had a lot of fun with how bad that movie was because it's one of those so bad it's good type of fun slasher movies. And since I had that much fun, I've been wanting to see this one for a while, and now I had a reason to motivate me to watch it. So today's slashback Saturday entry for low rated slashers because it was rated 4.6 out of 10 on IMDb. I'm talking the sequel, and you can't really see that with the glare, but it'll dim maybe. I don't know. Anyways, Slumber Party Massacre 2. Now, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I discuss plot spoilers, specific scenes, what have you. This came out in 1987. When I just said how much I enjoyed the original. Let's get into it. It's we're following. I can't think of her name, but we're following the younger sister that survived the first film. It's now 5 years later. Valerie, I believe, is the older sister. She's now in the loony bin, and I don't remember the name of the younger sister, but we're following her. She's in a band for some reason. Why not? And her friends are now going to some beach house or some resort, that something like that, that one of their dads owns. I don't know, but they're gonna go there to party, what have you. And this whole time, she's now being stalked by. I'll get into it, but she's now being stalked by a dream killer who is. He's dressed up like, you can't really see it, I said, because of the glare, but he's dressed up like a honky tonk singer, and he's chasing the honky tonk rock singer who's chasing them with a guitar with a power drill on the end because the killer in the first one used a power drill. Now, that sounds batshit crazy and sounds like it'd be a lot of fun. For me, it wasn't. I did not like this one at all. Lots of recognizable people in from the horror genre. Well, a couple, and then another person from another thing. But first off, let's talk about the characters. The main character, the younger sister, she's played by the blonde that was in Wings before Amy Asbeck showed up. She's fine. She's likable, but she's nothing extraordinary. All these characters are pretty cookie cutter and lame. None of them are really likable. None of them, except for one, is pretty easy to hate. But she's okay. And her friend, she's got three friends, and the only way I can describe them because they're given generic, the stereotypical generic. I guess you would say characteristics. You have the best friend, who I don't know who she is. She's okay at being the best friend. You have the tough girl, the one that, she's the first one to get naked. She's the one that's drinking. She's the one that's got the boyfriend she's banging. She's okay being the bad girl. She's in Friday the 13th Part 5. She's the one that turns down the stuttering kid when he puts the moves on her or tries to. And then we got another Friday the 13th alumnum. We have the other friend is I guess she would be the spunky one, the comic relief, the goofy one, and she's played by the actress who played Sandra in Friday the 13th Part 7, the one that's dragged and drowned in the lake. they're okay. They're not, like I said, they're nothing special. They're there to look pretty, show off their boobs when they can, show off their midriffs and their butts and all that stuff. They do all that stuff that's expected from a Slumber Party Massacre movie, and they do it all right. And then we meet the guys. Yeah, two guys, don't know their names. They're just there to be the boyfriends, okay? They're okay. And then you got the douchebag. The douchebag is, of course, dating the sassy, the tough chick. The one I said was from Friday the 13th 5. And I fucking hated this dude. He reminded me, literally, attitude, acting, body language from Chet, as Chet, Bill Paxton's character in Weird Science. I hated this fucker, and he is in this movie only, up until nearly the very end, and he was horrible. I wish he was one of the first ones killed. When he finally gets killed, it's one of those thank God moments. But he sucked. He was irritating. And then we have the killer, the rockabilly killer. I don't know what the fuck this guy was told to do in terms of being directed. He's there. He's in his leather jacket. He's in his boots and his jeans. He's got his doo-wop hair. He's there, I guess, to try to act sexy. He looks like a coked out version of John Travolta in Grease, okay, but with a guitar. Tries to be sexy. Doesn't come off as sexy towards the ladies. And they're just so weird with this character because at first he's just like a dream demon. So I guess they're jumping on like the Nightmare on Elm Street craze because this was 87. So there's maybe 3 Elm Street movies by then, maybe 4. I'm not sure. God, yeah, they didn't have the last one out yet. And Freddy's Dead 90 something. Anyway, so I think they're jumping on that because the main girl, the younger sister, is now having visions. Because, Valerie, the older girl, she's in the nut house because of, PTSD and the trauma. But this girl, the younger sister, is now having her trauma as well. But she's having dreams and visions, and she's seeing clips of the movie that are going to happen. With the rockabilly guy walking down, you see some deaths, you see some blood, and this and that. She always wakes up, and, of course, that no one believes her. And then we see, the rockabilly killer finally shows up. Now, I don't know. They don't explain why he's doing this. Like, even she says, she's asked, who is this guy? She says, I have no idea. I used to dream of him. I don't know if he's supposed to be the ghost of the killer from part 1. They never say that. They just say, they don't explain why she's having visions of this guy, and he shows up. And this character is just so dumb. He's stalking them. And then, of course, they're in a band, right? So they have their band equipment because there was a moment where they were singing in front of the guys, and the guys were being stupid and dancing and cheering and whatever. So he takes a break from stalking them to sing us, literally start, and start singing a song. He gets behind the microphone, starts singing a song. He's break dancing, and it's just really fucking weird and awkward. I think they just did it just because they thought it would be funny. And to me, it came off really flat. And I just don't get what they were getting with this character. I think they were trying for, like I said, a Freddy character with the dream stuff, bringing him into reality, even though he just appears. He's not brought in through a dream. He's gotten some goofy one-liners, and then he's killed by fire. So it's basically Freddy. I can't really I'm not going to trash the actor that much. He does what he can with the shit sandwich he was fed with this script, but now the gore is really good. I'll tell you that. We get a lot of impalings with the drill. I think we get a couple where we actually see it come through the body, which looks really good. We get a couple shots of he's gonna kill a person. They're standing against a wall. And of course we see the shot of the wall, and the drill pops up, and it's covered in blood and meat and stuff. So that looks good. We get some weird effects. Like there's an effect. The girl from Friday the 13th Part 7, the one that I told you, Sandra, the one that drowns. She's obsessed with getting pimples. Because younger sister. I'm just gonna call her younger sister from Part 1. Younger sister is obsessed with thinking she's going crazy and seeing things and this and that. So Sandra, I'm gonna just call her Sandra. Sandra, is obsessed. I keep seeing that I'm getting pimples all over my face. So younger sister has a dream, of course, and she dreams that she bumps into Sandra, and Sandra has this giant cyst growing on her face, and her face then just starts getting deformed and nasty, and the cyst explodes, and all the pus and ooze shoots on younger sister. It's really, the makeup looks really, really good and really disgusting, and then when that fucking thing pops and all the pus, yellow ooze, whatever, shoots all over younger sister from wings. It does its job. It looks disgusting, but it goes nowhere. When Sandra's finally killed, she's just killed with the drill. Nothing happens to her face. So that was a major letdown. Yeah. Let's see how they kill the killer. It's a long stalking sequence, and it's basically best friend and little sister are left. Everyone else has been killed, and they're in a construction site, I think, and they're going through like this half-built building or whatever. They're on like the second or third floor. Best friend has just been killed. She gets sliced with the power drill, and it's a really cool effect. Like on her back, the wound on her back looks pretty cool, especially like when like she's running away and crawling away. You get some good shots of that big giant slice. So, and then of course Rockabilly finds them because they're a floor ahead of them, and the wound's dripping blood, and of course it drips on his hand. Of course he's got to do the stereotypical you see in horror movies all the time, the blood on the finger, so he's got to type of thing. So then he finds her, kills best friend. So it's just younger sister from Wings against Rockabilly, right? And she finds a blowtorch, and she says some type of one-liner, and she sets him on fire, and the effect looks horrible. And like I think they do a really bad cut. They might have fucked it up. It looks like when he gets hit with the fire, he's already melted, and it cuts to younger sister, and then it cuts to Rockabilly again. He's in the fire, but his face is normal. And that's a kind of a neat effect where he falls off the building on fire, and he melts away. And that's it. They don't explain who he is. They don't explain that his weakness is fire. They don't explain how he got in the real world. They don't explain why he's stalking this girl. They don't explain if he's the ghost or the soul of the killer from the first one. And if he is, why is he now this honky-tonk rockabilly singer? So that's dumb. And then the way the movie ends. We have younger sister seeing best friend being pulled away on the stretcher. She's already got her face covered because she's dead. Pulls down the blanket to make sure for some reason that her best friend's really dead. She touches her forehead, like saying goodbye or whatever. The eyes open up and she laughs. And then, boom, younger sister wakes up. And I'm like, oh, fuck my life. This whole goddamn movie was a dream. Starts making out with boyfriend, and suddenly you see she's on top, she's kissing the dude, and then his hand now has a glove because Rockabilly has the fingerless gloves. And then, of course, it ends up being Rockabilly she's making out with. That would have been a cool way to end. Not cool. It would have been an okay way to end, I guess. One of those. But no, boom, another fake out. And the chick is now in the insane asylum. And just weird camera shots. Speaking of camera shots, but weird camera shots just going all around the place, twisting and turning. I guess that's to show her madness or some bullshit like that. And then the movie ends with her going crazy on the bed, and then the power drill breaks through the floor, and then we get the credits. Fucking stupid. Now, speaking of camera shots, whoever this director is, this chick, I don't know if it's the same person that directed the first one. That person is really obsessed with like POV shots. I mean, I get it. You're supposed to be looking at the POV of the younger sister, but it gets annoying because we see it a lot where the camera is pointed on all the actresses, the killers, the actors, and they're looking directly at you. And it gets annoying, it gets weird, it gets awkward, and it happens a lot. It's like, I was watching Warlock the Armageddon a few weeks ago, and it's directed by the same guy who directed Hellraiser 3. And there's a really cool shot in Hellraiser 3 where you have the actor talking to another actor in the background. You got one actor super close here, and you got the other actor way in the back. And it was used once, I think, in Hellraiser 3, and it looked really cool. But the very next year, he made Warlock the Armageddon. He does that shot at least 3 or 4 goddamn times, and it kind of loses its luster, loses its appeal. That's how this was, because it was done a fucking lot. So yeah, that was annoying. And another thing, they make a big deal about the older sister being in the nut house. The younger sister's having visions of the older sister. The older sister's telling her not to go to the beach house or whatever. Nothing happens to that. Nothing happens when it comes to the older sister. We never see her. They never, in person. We don't know what happens to her. None of that shit. We don't see her as younger sister as being put in the asylum. This movie is a waste of a lot of opportunities. I did not like, and I'm so disappointed because of how much fun I had with the first one. Even the first one's not a good movie by any standards, but I had a lot of fun with it. Can't see the glare, but you know what? It does, because of the glare. It doesn't deserve it. I did not have a lot of fun. I didn't. Fuck it. I didn't have any fun with Slumber Party Massacre 2. You can't see with the glare, but you know what? Fuck it. It does not deserve it. I do not recommend it. I'm surprised, honestly, that after I got done watching it, it got such a high rating, 4.6. Don't know. But anyways, yeah. This was a fun concept to do this week, but I picked the wrong thing to do. But I've been wanting to watch Slumber Party Massacre 2 since part 1, and it took me a couple days to finish this. And the thing is, it took me like 2 or 3 days to finish this. The movie's only like an hour and 19 minutes. That's telling you something. But in the end, hey, I like doing the Slashback challenge when I can. If you guys do YouTube videos, anyone watching this, and you're into horror, check out Joe, the Horror Man. Link will be in the description below. Yeah, this one sucked. Whatever. So in the end, that's it. That's all I got. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, all that crap. I don't know what else to say. I know there's a third one. Tell me if you've seen the third one. Does it have anything to do with the second one or the first one? Tell me if I'm missing something. Who the fuck this rockabilly dude guy was? Yeah. I don't know. So I'm just gonna end this. In the end, I'm just gonna say cheers and see you in the next one. Fuck.